Hi everyone. So I figured that for my first story, I would tell everyone about the day I got Kilara and Mischka. I'm still a little bit fuzzy on exactly what happened, but I will tell you what I know. And I'm really sorry if I keep yawning through this. I keep having really bad nightmares, really weird dreams, and when I wake up, my chest feels really heavy. Really weird. But this is a story about Kilara and Mischka. It was a few years back. I was exploring the forest at night. I love doing that. It's so beautiful and peaceful and calming. The moon wasn't full, but it was still really bright. I didn't really need a flashlight. I let my eyes adjust to the darkness, and I know the forest like the back of my hand, so I felt really comfortable walking it at night. It was really weird though, because I kept hearing cats meowing. It wasn't a constant meowing, but it was pretty consistent. Wildlife is really common because, it's a forest, but it was really weird to hear so many cats. Eventually, around the time I decided to go back to my house, I heard a baby crying. At first, I wasn't really sure what to do. Nobody ever went camping in that part of the forest other than me, and it just seemed so out of place. I started to follow the sound of the baby, and a shiver ran down my spine. It was so eerie and weird. The cats just... I don't know how to explain it, but I got a really bad feeling. But if there was a baby out in the forest, I had to help it. I started moving slower, though. Eventually, I got to this river. I stayed behind the trees and looked around. I didn't find a baby, though. There was this creature, this really weird creature. A scarecrow, I guess, is the best way I can describe him. He seemed to be wrapped in this glowing, shifting, moving wrap thing. I don't know what it was made out of, but it was no material I had ever seen before, and I could have sworn I heard these moans, these kind of cries. The best way I can think to describe it is in the movies when you have the lost souls that are swarming together and they kind of have those mournful cries. But it was very light. It seemed like it was more coming from my mind than actually hearing it. The scarecrow type creature. He saw me. I'm not sure how. I was hidden and it was dark, but he saw me. I started to run. He started to laugh. I could hear him chasing me. And eventually, he caught up to me. It was kind of a blur what happened, but next thing I knew, I was on the ground. I hadn't tripped. He must have tackled me or something. I'm not really sure. I was sure I was a goner. And then I heard them. 2 cats growling. The scarecrow jerked back in surprise, anger. He just stared at the cats. They were walking towards us very slowly, crouched, ready to attack. growling and hissing. Eventually, the scarecrow moved away from me. He seemed to talk, but I didn't recognize the language, and there's no way I could replicate it. It was so weird. After a few moments, he ran away. The cats didn't chase him. Instead, they stayed near me. They seemed to be urging me to get up and move. I could hear other cats around us, growling and hissing. So I started running for the house. They kept up with me, one on either side. When I got back to the house, it was just covered in cats. On the roof, all around the yard, and the trees. Normally, I'm very much a cat person, but this was terrifying. I ran inside, let in the two that followed, and locked the door. I checked all the windows. They were all locked, closed all the curtains. My bed is near a wall, but it's not up against it. I huddled in the little area between the wall and the bed, my back to the wall, just held myself. One of the cats jumped up onto the bed, the other one curled in my lap. We stayed like that for the rest of the night. I'd fallen asleep several times. Any little sound woke me though. In the morning, when the sun was up, I crawled into bed. They seemed to take turns crawling up in front of me, looking after me, protecting me. I would wake up and just pet them until I fell back asleep. They didn't seem to mind. Over the next few days, I got to know their personalities, and names came to me. Even that was weird. They just seemed to be staring at me, knowing that I was trying to think of names for them, and the names just came to mind. Kilara and Mischka. If you heard that, that was actually Kilara. She's a very in control kind of cat, definitely a leader. She's not scared of anything. She's very observant, very smart. Mischka, in her own way, is kind of a coward, oddly enough. When it comes down to it, she's very much a protector, but she doesn't like new things. She doesn't like people either, or other animals. Just me and Kilara. They're always together. I very, very rarely see them apart. I never saw the scarecrow creature again. And after that night, all of the other cats seemed to have disappeared. Weeks later, I went back. There were some weird markings in the dirt. Kind of sleigh, almost. And several paw prints and a few other markings I couldn't quite identify. Part of me is terrified he'll be back, but I think as long as I have Kilara and Mischka, I'll be safe. I'm not sure why they chose to stay with me, but I'm very glad they did. They're more than just my pets. They're my best friends.